Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Amanda. Today's video is going to be my second trimester recap video, and I'm super excited to be filming this for you guys and just to kind of finalize the second trimester. I have 4 days left technically from when I'm filming this, but I have a lot to do this week, a lot of videos I want to film, so I'm going ahead and filming this one and getting it done with. So let's go ahead and get right into the video. Okay, so I kind of want to do a couple of like events that have happened in the second trimester. So to kind of recap pregnancy, life with pregnancy, life during pregnancy in a pandemic. So I turned 14 weeks, I think is when you end your first trimester. What is it now? 14 weeks ago, which was in October, I think. So at that time we were moving into our new house, which we are currently living in right now. We have done a lot of stuff in this house to get it ready for baby girl to arrive. But at the time of us moving in here, we did not know if we were having a little girl or a little boy. Well, we knew, but we hadn't told you guys yet. So we found out we were having a little girl. What is that? And we also decided on a name for her, and her name is going to be Lilia Hayden, and she's due April 2nd. So the next thing that happened after moving here, finding out she was a girl, naming her and everything, we went to her 20-week anatomy scan. At the 20-week anatomy scan, the tech told us everything looked perfect and we had nothing to worry about. It wasn't until my next appointment with my doctor at 24 weeks that she had raised concerns over the fluid levels inside of one of Lilia's kidneys. So we actually have our appointment on Wednesday. It's our follow-up anatomy scan as well as a follow-up appointment with my doctor. It's like a 2-hour appointment, so it's going to be a long morning in the doctor's office, but we're finally going to get answers on whether she will be born with hydronephrosis is what I think it's called. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's called, and that's just excess fluid in the kidneys due to a blockage. And if she does have excess fluid in her kidneys, we will learn more about the next steps, hopefully at that appointment. But other than that, she is moving around a lot. I got my flu shot a couple of days ago and it made me really, really sick. I've never gotten the flu shot before, but I was required to get it in order to give birth here. So I went ahead and got it, obviously, because I wanted to be in a hospital for my first time giving birth, and I felt the worst side effects. The night that I got it, I thought that I was gonna have to go to the emergency room, but I tried to not like jump on it because I know that it told me that I could experience symptoms of the flu, but it was really bad. I ended up falling asleep and everything kind of worked its way out of my system by morning. Today I also felt a little bit of the symptoms from it, but I'm feeling a lot better now that I've ate. I rested for about an hour and I'm drinking plenty of water and I am feeling better now, but that is the first time I've gotten the flu shot. So that is probably the reason why, and I don't think I will ever get it again because I've never had the flu and I never got the flu shot, and that was pretty scary getting it while pregnant. And also I had the worst Braxton Hicks that night, which is one of the reasons why I thought I needed to go into the emergency room, is because or into labor and delivery at that point, because I felt like Braxton Hicks were happening very, very much back to back, but I was able to fall asleep and wake up and they were gone. So luckily I didn't freak out and go because it was probably a false alarm and I probably was just dehydrated or symptoms from the flu shot, but that was scary and I don't know if I ever want to experience that again. The last thing that I want to talk about, like life update wise being pregnant, is that me and Mauricio, which is my husband if you're new here, have made habits of eating healthier again. So before I got pregnant, we lived a very, 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 very healthy, active lifestyle. I was a personal trainer and I worked online, and Mauricio was in the Navy, and we were working on getting the leanest and the strongest we had ever been. And we both got very lean and very muscular. So when we found out I was pregnant on top of this pandemic, we both kind of let that go. And, you know, you have to take care of your mental health as well as your physical health. But with this pregnancy, it's been so rough on me physically, that it's also been really hard on my husband physically, as he's had to take up a lot of the tasks around the house, and he does work full-time. So that was really hard for him to adjust to. Luckily now I can do most of the things that I normally do around the house, but now I do YouTube, and I spend a lot of time working on YouTube stuff and social media, which I'm so grateful and so blessed to have, because this is a huge dream of mine and I'm just watching it come true. And I'm just like, it's amazing to see your dreams like finally start to blossom into reality. So we both have kind of gotten like adjusted to our new routine, and we only have about 3 months left until she's born. So I know that we have a solid routine, and then when she's born, it's gonna be all mumbo jumbo again. So we're trying to instill healthy habits like eating healthy, drinking plenty of water, eliminating sugary drinks. I've eliminated drinking soda. One of my biggest cravings in this pregnancy, which I'll talk about later, has been carbonated drinks, but Coke, like fountain drinks, carbonation is just like, I feel like so many pregnant women crave that, and I don't know why, but I did. Luckily we have a gas station literally right across our neighborhood. And the other night, me and Mauricio were watching TV, I believe, or playing Monopoly on the PlayStation together or something. And I was like, we have to go get Coke right now. And I chugged this extra large Coke. So I definitely have tried to make the switch to carbonated waters, but we'll see. I probably will still drink soda every once in a while, because pregnancy cravings are real and they're really hard to ignore. All right, so now that I've kind of talked about a little recap of our life being in the second trimester, I want to talk about some of the main symptoms I've experienced. I'm not going to talk about all the symptoms I had, because then I would sit here all day and complain, it would sound like. But I have had a pretty easy trimester, considering my first trimester I was out of the game. Like, I laid in bed the entire time. Like, I really struggled the first trimester. Like, the first trimester makes me never want to have another child via my body. Like, I will let another woman's body handle it, and I will take care of it. Like, I don't want it, but at the same time, like, being pregnant has been such an amazing experience, but the first trimester was definitely terrifying. And I'm hoping that the third trimester is not as hard as the first. I've heard people say that this third can be worse than the first, and if the third is worse than the first, I might not make it out alive. Like, I barely made it out of the first alive, so if it's worse, I'm screwed. All right, the first major symptom that I want to talk about is heartburn. I was born with a head full of hair, so was Mauricio, so I'm assuming heartburn is going to be a result of her having a head full of hair, because I actually have not grown that much wide-wise. Like, I do have a belly, but not as big as, like, I guess like a typical belly. I even measured small whenever, was it like 5 weeks ago now that I went to the doctor. I was measuring on the smaller side with my bump, so I measure smaller. It doesn't matter if it's smaller, bigger, medium, regular, but that personally me, I measure on the smaller end. So I don't think that my insides are as like jumbled up as they could be. But your stomach does get pushed up, so that could also be a factor. But I get heartburn all the time, a lot. I even had to contact my doctor because I was eating Tums like candy, and you're only supposed to eat 6 total in a day if you're pregnant. And I was like eating like, I don't even want to know, when I didn't know that you were only supposed to have 6. And so I switched to Pepcid, and that has helped a lot, but it takes like an hour or 2 to kick in. It takes forever to kick in. And I've mentioned this before, I'm not a big medicine taker. So I have heartburn some days and I don't have it other days. So that makes me not want to take Pepcid every day. But at the same time, it's like maybe I should, so I avoid it. But I have ended up taking Pepcid probably 5 out of the 7 times out of the week, most weeks. But heartburn has been one of the worst things. Like, I struggle with it, as well as acid reflux. Those kind of like partner with each other, so that has not been fun. Cravings. My biggest cravings that I've had, like I talked about, was carbonated drinks, specifically fountained Cokes were my favorite, and also baked potatoes. For a while I was craving baked potatoes, and fudge. So those are the 3 main things that I've really craved this pregnancy. Fudge for me has always been one of my favorite desserts of all time. So I don't know if it's just because I'm pregnant, I think that I'm able to eat it all the time, or if I'm actually craving it. But hi baby, hi, what are you doing? But yeah, the biggest craving I've probably had was the baked potatoes, and it lasted the longest. And it was like every day for almost a month I was having a baked potato. But carbonated drinks are kind of just like out of the spunk, and of course they make my heartburn so bad, but it's so worth it. You kind of pick and choose your battles, and I guess I chose to deal with heartburn other than fighting the craving of my Coke. Next one, hip and back pain. I was in a motorcycle accident when I was 16, and I messed up my back really bad. So I didn't really have that many like effects from it in my life after I healed from it. I did dance, and it did flare up then. But for the most part, I haven't had too many flare-ups of my back, but being pregnant has been really bad on my back, especially our couch. Our couch is so old, we need a new one so bad, but I keep buying stuff for Miss Lilia, so whenever she's born, hopefully we can like chill on the baby furniture and stuff and actually focus on our home a little bit more. And another thing is hip pain, which I get mostly on long car rides. So my dog's right here, sorry, she's very needy. Oh, now she bumped the camera. Come here, come here, come here, come here. Oh, it doesn't help that she also loves baby Sissy's room. She loves being in this room. She even comes in here when no one's in here to just lay in here. She loves it, huh? You love baby Sissy's room. She's like, I can't wait to be a big sissy because I'm a little sissy. So the next thing I'm talking about is sleeping. So sleeping has been really hard for me lately. I was sleeping with a pregnancy pillow for the most of my 2nd trimester. But the last week, the pregnancy pillow has made me feel claustrophobic, and I've had really bad restless legs at night, which runs in my family. Like my mom and her sister get restless legs really bad. So I've had it really bad being pregnant, and I finally got rid of the pregnancy pillow. And even though I'm more uncomfortable, I feel like I get more sleep being uncomfortable than feeling claustrophobic. So sleep has been really hard for me. And I have been having some weird dreams here and there, but not as bad as they were in the beginning of my pregnancy. Along with sleeping is frequent urination. That is when I pee the most. I try to drink upwards to 90 to 120 ounces of water a day. So that's like, this is a 30-ounce like tumbler cup. So I try to drink 4 to 5 of these a day. Is that the right math? 3, 6, 9? No, 3 to 4 of these a day. And when I wasn't pregnant, I would be drinking a little bit more, but with frequent urination drives me up a wall, especially at night. So I'm drinking as much as I should, as my doctor recommended, 120 ounces. But whenever I wasn't pregnant, I was trying to drink my body weight in water. So in ounces, not in pounds. So like if I weigh 150 pounds, I'd be drinking 150 ounces. And that's where I always told clients to, that's the goal, is to drink as many ounces in water as you weigh in pounds. So 150 pounds, 150 ounces of water. So that has resulted in peeing like 4 or 5 times a night, which is crazy. Gas, I have gas both burping and the other end, which I've talked about. And I have always been really into the body, the human body. Every job I've ever wanted in my entire life has always done something with the human body. So to me, I don't think anything's embarrassing that the body does. I think it's all natural, and I know it's natural. But again, having gas is just irritating, especially if it's gas that's stuck in your stomach, which I have a lot, and that hurts very, very badly, especially if you're already having a day where you have like Braxton Hicks contractions a lot, and then you put gas cramps on top of that, and you put nausea on top of that, and you put no sleep on top of that, and yeah. Okay, and the last thing that I want to mention for symptoms wise is that baby girl loves to move. She is a very, very active little girl. She does not like when people touch her and be in her space. She doesn't like when I put my hand on her. She doesn't like when my husband talks to her. She doesn't like when my husband is laying on her. And a lot of people say, oh, well, they kick and they're happy. No, my child kicks you as like, get away from me. Like, we'll constantly like push in the one direction, like get out, get out, get out. Like, she's very sassy like me. I'm very much the same way. I have a really big bubble. So I'm pretty sure that that's where she gets it from, is that she just loves her space. And she's going to probably, for a while was thinking she would come early, but she's very, very cozy and comfy in there and loves to be in there, that I'll probably go overdue. I have no idea. I'm kind of waiting until Wednesday to find out where she's measuring at, her kidneys, if that is going to play a factor into when she has to be born and things like that. So I don't know. I really thought that she would come early, but nowadays I'm thinking she loves to be in there, so she's just gonna stay as long as she possibly can. All right, so that's basically all I have to update for that, but I picked out 5 questions that I'm gonna answer. So if you guys are interested in hearing those, you guys can stick around for a little bit longer. I'm gonna try to fly through them. So the first question was, when am I doing a nursery tour? So I am doing a nursery tour when it is finished. It probably won't be until 35, 36 weeks. There's only a couple things left we need in her room, but they are things that we have planned to purchase in advance, and in order to purchase them, I will be like 35 or 36 weeks pregnant. So the nursery tour will be uploaded here. First and foremost, you guys always get the first of everything. And like I said, 35, 36 weeks, so about 2 months from now, I will be doing a full nursery tour, and I have everything jotted down where I got it, so don't worry. I have not forgotten where I got everything in her room. My favorite thing about pregnancy. So my favorite thing about pregnancy so far has been her movements, and just kind of being able to feel her personality through her movements and through her actions. She's definitely awake more at night, which is pretty common, I've heard. And she's very, 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 very like, this is my space, don't get in it. So that's been my favorite part. And just like building her nursery and seeing my husband like lay on my belly like this, and he feels her kick and she's like, you know, like that's like my favorite thing. I feel like just her in general is my favorite thing. What she's doing to my body is rough, but her in general is the best thing, and I would do it a million times over just to get her out of it again. Number 3, what am I most scared about with giving birth? So I do not want to have an epidural. I have done my research, and that is my opinion and my decision I've made for myself. Every woman should make that for themselves. I guess my worst fear of giving birth is what people call the ring of fire. A lot of women who don't get the epidural say that the contractions are the worst part, because the pushing feels like a relief, and the ring of fire hurts, but it's a relief hurt. So it's like a good relief hurt. So I don't know whether or not that's true or not, but people say that the ring of fire is like the worst of the worst. But if you go without an epidural, or your epidural doesn't work, the pushing feels like a relief, and the ring of fire and the contractions are the worst. My Braxton Hicks, I've practiced breathing through them, so I'm hoping that will help as well through real contractions. And also I'm scared for my husband to see me possibly poop on the table. I'm just gonna be honest with you guys. Next question. I get this question all the time. Our dogs are such a huge part of our life. They are in our vlogs. They are always around me. I include them in everything. They are our children. We treat them like they are our babies. So people are always like, how do you plan on introducing them to Lilia? Like, don't you think they're going to be jealous? Oh yeah. I already know that it's going to be hard for them to adjust to a baby. They have been the center of my life. Harley, my little dog, has been in my life for 11 years. And my big German Shepherd, I've had her since she was 4 months old, and she's about to be 6. So 5, almost 6 years I've had her, and I have treated them like they are my children. They are my world. They are #1 in my life. I would fight for them, hell and back, hell and high waters for them. But my plan so far. Mauricio leaves this up to me because even though we are married, they were my dogs before we met and before we got married. And I am very big on, they are our dogs, but they are my dogs if ours is not a thing anymore. So like, if anything was to happen, they are mine. Just so you know, I don't think anything's gonna happen, but just so you know, they're mine. Don't even try to get them from me. So he leaves a lot of the decision making for them in my hands, but we do make a lot of them together. So for Lilia, for introducing her, we do plan on giving somebody a blanket. My sister and my mom will probably be here. My sister will probably be here before she's born and after she's born. My mom will probably be here after she's born. My mom plans to leave whenever I tell her I'm in labor, so she will probably be down here either right before she's born or right after she's born. And we plan to give one of those two people an item such as a blanket or a toy or a piece of clothing that they can take home from the hospital that has baby scent on it, and they can bring it home and let them sniff it so it becomes a scent that they are familiar with. So when they smell her, they don't get super overwhelmed. You guys know when dogs have new smells, they like, and they freak out. Well, hopefully they do that with the blanket or the piece of clothing. And then when the baby comes in, it's like, okay, I've smelled this before. I don't have to be as like, you know. But like I said, I do plan on having my sister and my mom here. My mom knows my dogs very well. Mauricio knows my dogs very well. I know my dogs very well. We're just gonna have to take it slow. I plan on letting them sniff the bottom of the car seat and then slowly lowering it down for them to like look and sniff. And then we'll work our way to holding her and them being around her. So I know that's going to be a very hard transition for them, and it's gonna be hard to introduce them, but we're just gonna take it slow and day by day, just hope for the best. And try to include them as much as we possibly can in everything. We already do, so we have to kind of keep that up with them so they don't feel abandoned. And the last question I have, which is probably super common for women to answer nowadays, is how do we feel about giving birth during a pandemic? Yay, we feel so lucky. Yeah, how do I feel about giving birth during a pandemic? The last time that I talked with the hospital, like birth planner, coordinator, administrator, I don't know what her name is, when I did my hospital tour, because there was 2 different hospitals I could give birth at. So I did tours at both of them and decided on the one that I have decided on. And at that time, which I was like 18 weeks, I think, when I did that, there was 2 people allowed at bedside, and people were allowed to be in the waiting room with masks on. So I don't know if that's changed so far, but I am perfectly fine with 2 people at bed. Sorry, my camera died. So my plan is for obviously Mauricio to be there the entire time. My sister Sarah also will be there hopefully the entire time. She is really good at photography. She also has a lot of the same holistic approaches to health like I do. So I'm hoping that with her being there, she would be able to help, you know, kind of help guide me through labor naturally, as that's not something that Mauricio is super aware on of how to do it. So I am relying on her a lot to kind of help me get through it mentally. And Mauricio being there obviously for emotional support and physical support. But my mom probably will be there as well. I don't know if my labor's long, she'll probably be there towards the end. If my labor's short, she'll be there probably after she's born. But I think my mom is going to be good for me adjusting to being a new mom, and not so much like helping me through labor. And like I don't really know, my mom's never really talked about if she wants to be there or not, but they are allowed to switch out. It doesn't have to be the same 2 people. It just has to be only 2 people at bedside at a time. So you can choose whoever you want. Like I said, I have not contacted the hospital. I'm going to reach out to them next week to make arrangements to have my birth plan arranged with them to decide when decide my birth plan. They do that with you for free. And that is when I will ask all those questions. I've already gotten go ahead for filming in the hospital. I just have to get approval from my physician, which I don't see why not. I think the only time my physician would have a huge say would be actual pushing and stuff. So that will be something I will ask at my appointment on Wednesday if it's necessary, if it's like in the books. If we get good news, that will be a question I ask. If it's, you know, if it's hard news for us to process, I may wait till my next appointment to ask all my labor questions. But I am nervous, but at the same time, not so nervous because we won't be so overwhelmed with so many people. And this hospital keeps baby at bedside. They never go into a nursery unless you ask them to take their baby into a nursery, like if you need an hour for yourself. So I am really excited to give birth. I'm excited to experience it naturally. And then we'll decide from there whether or not I want to medicate then or medicate on my next one. But I think it's really important for me to see if I have the ability to as a woman. It's important to me personally that I try to do it naturally and see where we go from there. But I'm not closed-minded. I'm very open-minded that I could change my mind. But I have told both my sister and Mauricio that in order for them to let me get an epidural, like I have to be in excruciating pain. Like it can't be like an hour and I'm asking for it. It needs to be like, you know, I've given a fair fight and I'm exhausted and I need it. You know, I don't want to get it right away. I want to give myself the chance to do it naturally. But yeah, I mean, I'm not really scared about giving birth during COVID. It is what it is, and you just have to make the best of it, right? Before I end my second trimester recap video, I almost forgot, but I'm gonna show you guys what my body looks like today versus me at the beginning of the second trimester. And I'm also probably gonna put up a couple different pictures for you guys to see throughout my pregnancy. I think I have one at 4 months, I have a picture at 5 months, or no, I have a picture at 5 months, picture at 6 months, and I'm about to take a picture for 7 months. So I will post all those here, and I'm also going to show you guys my belly, and also someone asked me to show arms and legs and stuff like that to see if I have swollen or gained weight anywhere else in my body. So I'm going to show you guys that. Or here is my body at almost 7 months pregnant. I'll be 7 months in 4 days. So this is from the side with the shorts up. And then if I pull the pants down, that is what it looks like. And then from the front, this is from the front with the shorts down and also with them up, if you guys are interested in that as well. So I can't really show too much of my full body, but I have gained some weight in my legs as well as gotten some more cellulite, which I'm not worried about. I do have a couple of stretch marks coming right here, but that is like all the stretch marks I have. Like there's only like 2, and that's all I've gotten so far. I don't know if there's any on this side actually. Maybe a little bit, but there aren't as bright as that. But there are none on my front, but there is that line. My line kind of goes to the side. You guys can't really tell because I have like from my pants, my shorts, but you guys can't really tell, but it goes kind of to the side. But I do have the little hip thing, you know, like where you can see right here where your belly is at. But yeah, so my arms really haven't changed that much. They have lost a lot of muscle tone, but as far as size, no. My legs, like I said as well, really haven't lost or gained that much weight in them. It's just that I've lost a lot of muscle mass and they aren't as defined, and I have more cellulite, which I'm fine with. I don't care. But yeah, so that is my body at 7 months pregnant. I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please let me know if you guys have any comments, questions, or concerns down below. And if you are not already subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me, and you can join our family that is growing like crazy. And I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.